Hello there, I'm Dr. Irfan K, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Sri Narayan Guru Open University. A warm welcome to the courses in BA English Language and Literature of Sri Narayan Guru Open University. Today, we gonna have a glance at the first course in BA English Language program of the university, Introduction to Literature. This course is designed to bridge the learners to English literature. The course is structured in 6 blocks. The first 3 blocks introduce theoretical and conceptual dimensions of literature, comprising socio-cultural context, literary trends and movements. The last 3 blocks are presented to ensure learners direct exposure to literary texts representing each phase of literary period. Block 1 addresses some of the fundamental questions of literature, like what is literature and what are its important genres. Important genres of literature are poetry, fiction, plays and prose. And we also discuss what are its subcategories. It is difficult to restrict literature to a single definition. This course deals with important ideas like evolution of literature and the reciprocity between literature and society. It also deals with the mutual connectivity between literature and text. It also traces the evolution of literature from Old English period to the contemporary time. So you get an idea how literature evolved through different ages and how different socio-cultural contexts produce distinctive literary texts. To begin with, we have Old English period, where as a political context, you have Anglo-Saxon conquest. This produced many literatures during the time, and you have plenty of Anglo-Saxon literatures during the period. There are many literature produced, among which Beowulf is noteworthy. There you can see the reflection of both pagan and Christian beliefs. And then we can move on to Middle English period. As a political background to this period, you have Norman conquest. As a result, you have a mix and blend of Anglo-Saxon and Norman French literatures. And you can see some of the instances and some of the literatures produced during the period, like chivalric romances and the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. When you go through Renaissance period, which is one of the important periods in English literature, where you can see a transition from medieval to modern society. Actually, Renaissance began in 14th century onwards, but Renaissance was very visible in English society only in the 15th century. During the Renaissance period, you can see there is an emphasis on logic and reason and replacing religious beliefs. And you can also see the prevalence of humanism during the period. Most of the philosophies of the time were based on human-centric, and it is based on humanitarian concerns. And during the period, Elizabethan literatures were very famous, and you have plenty of works by William Shakespeare himself, like his sonnets, and also like his plays, like Hamlet, Othello, etc. And along with him, we had plenty of writers like Christopher Marlowe, John Milton, etc. The next phase of literature is Neoclassical period, where you can see a revival of literatures, especially you can see a type of imitation to Greco-Roman classics. This is a time there was an adherence to classical rules. And actually the time span of Neoclassical period is from towards the end of 17th century to the beginning of 18th century. And this usually termed as an age of reason and enlightenment, and where you have many literary figures like Alexander Pope and John Dryden. And the importance of this literature of this time is the focus on structure and form. When you move on to Romantic literature, you can see the Romanticism was seen towards the end of 18th century to the beginning of 19th century. Then in Romantic literature, you can see a focus on nature and a shift towards a simpler and more natural forms of expressions. And there was also a renewed interest on emotion, creativity and imagination. And you can see plenty of writers during the period, as poetry was one of the important genres of the time. Some of the important poets of the time were William Wordsworth, S.T. Coleridge, John Keats and Lord Byron. And the importance of Romanticism is it prioritizes emotion over reason. The Victorian period is important. Politically, this is a time when Queen Victoria ascended to the throne of United Kingdom. And it is marked by industrialization, materialism and moral values. And novel was the dominant genre during the Victorian period, where you can see many novelists like Charles Dickens, the Bronte sisters and Thomas Hardy. Modern period, we can see there is a very political disturbing moments. Especially this is a time in between First World War and Second World War, and you can see modern literature as a result of these wars and chaotic situations in the time. The literatures were also fragmented, and they have used styles of broken and fragmented narrative styles, and that's why it's actually a result of the disturbing and painful experience of the time. And that's why the writers adopted non-linear, discontinuous and fragmented narratives. And literary genres developed during the period were poetry, novels and plays. When you come to novels, you have many novelists like Virginia Woolf, James Joyce, D.H. Lawrence. They experimented new styles in order to appropriate their themes. And you can also see poetry was flourishing during the period. There you can see poets like T.S. Eliot and W.B. Yeats. And you have also modern dramatists like G.B. Shaw and James Inge. Finally, when we come to postmodern period, roughly it is a period after Second World War. During the period, in contrast to the modern period, you can see there is a shift of attitude. Instead of developing an attitude of anxiety, the writers of the period developed an attitude of positivity, and they tried to celebrate the time, even they are among the loss of orders and fragmentation. This is the distinctive feature of postmodern literature. They were celebrating the lack of structure and painful, disturbing moments of the time. During post-modern period, you have different genres like poetry, plays and novels with their own distinctive features. You have plenty of postmodern dramatists during the period like Samuel Beckett, Tom Stoppard and Harold Pinter. Till now we were discussing the first three blocks. From block 4 to 6, the course introduces all these periods. You have plenty of literary text in the course. In Middle English period, you have Geoffrey Chaucer's general prologue to the Canterbury Tales. And when you go to Renaissance period, you have different works which have been included in your course, like William Shakespeare's Hamlet. When you go to Neoclassical period, you have plenty of works. Importantly, some works like John Dryden's Absalom and Achitophel. In Romantic period, you have some of the important texts like S.T. Coleridge, Kubla Khan and Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. And in Victorian period, you have as a representative text, you have Matthew Arnold's Dover Beach. representing the modern period, you have to study G.B. Shaw's Arms and the Man and a poem by W.B.H. Easton 1916, and also you have to study short story by James Joyce, Evelyn. And when you come to postmodern period as a representative text, you have to study many literary texts, among which one is Doris Lessing's A Mild Attack of Locusts. In a nutshell, when you go through the course, you can develop a clarity on what you mean by literature and how different socio-cultural contexts produced different type of literatures, and you can also directly expose to some of the important texts which represent all these literary periods. Yeah, this is all about the course. For more details, you can visit Sri Narayan Guru Open University website, where you have learners portal, and you can also go for Sri Narayan Guru Open University Help Desk, and you can also go for SLM, which you have received in printed format. This is all about, and we will meet again with new videos. Thank you so much.